Hi guys. Okay, so this is gonna be a quick 30-minute Pilates workout. Simple, not easy. Anyone can really participate. All you need is something to lie down on. If you have a mat, grab it. You can use a carpet, a blanket. If you have a yoga strap or a stretchy TheraBand, grab it. If you don't, no big deal. Grab a household towel, that will work as well. So we're gonna start on our back. Knees bent, feet flat on the floor. Head rests, and just go ahead and take your hands on your rib cage, elbows on the mat, and close your eyes. So we're gonna start with some rib cage breathing, some Pilates breath, which is actually a different breath, different than natural breath, different than yoga breathing. You can refer to a separate video on posterior lateral ribcage breathing on my YouTube channel if you'd like to check that out. So again, we're on our back, knees are bent, feet are flat on the mat, hands are on our rib cage. And we're gonna try to inhale through your nose and exhale out an open mouth. Again, deep full breath in through your nose. Open your mouth, sigh it out, let it go. Releasing tension. Final breath like this, in through your nose. And out an open mouth, exhale. So once again, this is called rib cage breathing. We're trying to inflate our rib cage as we inhale and deflate our rib cage as we exhale. So you may feel that in the hands. On your inhale, do the best you can to fill your rib cage with breath. Open mouth, exhale like you're gonna fog up your sunglasses. Deflating the ribs. Again, inhale through your nose, fill your rib cage with breath. Feel the response in the hands. Open mouth, exhale, sigh it out. Feel the face, shoulders, jaw relax as the ribs deflate. So if we can, we're gonna try to turn it more into what we call posterior lateral rib cage breathing, which means your back and your side body. So on your next inhale, sense your middle back, sense the space between your shoulder blades. Endeavor to feel the breath behind you. Breathing in and breathing out your mouth. Once again, breathing into the mid-back the best you can. Put your awareness there, your attention there. And breathing out, feeling the rib cage deflate, feeling the deep core muscles start to engage. A few more breaths like this. Inhale, fill the middle back with breath. Open mouth, exhale, deflate, closing the ribs. And feeling those deep core, those postural muscles that hold our spine contract. One more breath, inhale, fill the mid-back. Open mouth, exhale, sigh it out. So we're gonna add breath to this particular movement. You're gonna inhale, prepare. And on your exhale, you're gonna close your ribs, engage your abdominals, and tuck your pelvis. We call this a pelvic tilt, coming out of neutral into a pelvic tuck. Inhale, release, let the tailbone drop down. Exhale, sigh it out your mouth, feel the ribs close, the belly engage, and the tailbone tuck. So you're using that exhale to round and release the lumbar spine. Inhale, let go, the tailbone drops. Exhale, close the ribs, engage the abdominals, and feel the pelvic tilt. The lower back round, the lumbar spine release. Inhale, fill your middle back, tailbone drops. Exhale, sigh it out, pull the ribs in, the navel in, and round your lower back. Two more, inhale, tailbone drops. Using the breath, noticing that your butt wants to clench, your thighs want to push, so there's no leg work, there's no tush work, it's all breath, it's all exhale, it's very deep, very internal. One more. And then we're gonna add a pelvic peel, so you inhale, release the tail. Start with the tuck. Exhale, tuck your pelvis and continue to roll your hips and spine up off the mat. All the way up onto your shoulder blades and your feet. So we're standing on our feet and our shoulder blades. We're in a bridge. Inhale through your nose. And exhale to roll down, upper back, middle back, lower back, and release. Inhale, prepare. Exhale, start with that pelvic tilt and peel up. Tailbone first, lower back, middle back, all the way to the shoulders and the feet, and pause. Take a deep breath in through your nose. And exhale to roll down, upper back, middle back, lower back, and release. So we call this articulation of the spine. Inhale, prepare. Exhale, pelvic tilt, and use that action of pelvic tilt to peel you up. So it's the tucking, the lifting from the pelvis and the abs, not so much the thrusting again from the butt or the thighs. Inhale, prepare. And exhale to roll down, upper back, middle back, lower back, and let go. One more. Inhale, get ready. And exhale, tuck and roll up, using the breath to lift you, using the core to lift you. We're gonna pause at the top. So continue to feel the breath, you guys, support your spine. So we're up here in like a neutral position, neutral spine. It's a plank position. We're weight bearing on our shoulder blades and our feet. So a lot of people tend to kind of back bend and poke the middle out. Lower your ribs a little bit so the tip of your shoulder blades are touching the mat. Ladies, it would be the bra line touching the mat. Men, and all of us, we're standing on the whole upper back. Take a breath in. And then on an exhale, lift one leg to tabletop. So we call this marching. Inhale, foot comes down. Exhale to switch. Inhale, foot comes down. Utilize the exhale to turn on your core and lift. So continue with your breath. Inhale. And exhale, we're marching in a bridge. Inhale, foot down. Exhale to lift. You got about 5 more, you guys. Feel how it's the exhale that turns on my deep core muscles, and it's my deep core muscles that do the lifting of the leg, right? I could do this movement all day long, and my bigger, stronger muscle groups are gonna work. My quads and hips and my lower back tend to overwork, right? So can I utilize the breath to engage the core and feel the movement mindfully happening from the core, not from the external muscle groups, yeah? So we're learning to work these deeper postural muscles via the breath. One more each side. And then when you're ready, put 2 feet on the mat. Take a deep, full breath in. And exhale, roll your spine down, upper back, middle back, lower back, and release. Hug 2 knees into your chest. Take a deep, full belly breath here. We're gonna take the arms straight out to the side on the floor, palms up. Legs come to tabletop. So table means my shins make a tabletop, a flat table, parallel to the floor and the ceiling. Super glue your knees together and feel, you guys, that you're feeling the breath already. Work on the rib cage breathing, supporting the legs. So this already feels like ab work. And this really doesn't happen easily. This is tough and it takes practice. What happens first is the quads and the hips start to grip. And when my quads and hips grip to hold my legs, I end up feeling my lumbar spine or lower back, right? So we want to release the hip work, the leg work, which is mindfulness and practice, and feel the breath support our legs into rotation of the spine. Inhale, rotate your knees and hips to one side. Open your mouth, sigh it out, come to center. Inhale, other way. Keep the shoulder blades planted on the floor. Use your exhale to come to center. So once again, we coordinate our breath and the movement the best we can. Inhale to rotate, fill the mid-back with breath. Open your mouth, sigh it out. Exhale to center. Again, inhale, fill the middle back as you rotate. Feel the exhale, close the ribs, engage the abdominals to come to center. And a few more. Inhale to move. So you can kind of get in a rhythm of your breath and your movement. You don't have to be with me. And exhale to move. Feel, you guys, that it's the exhale once again that closes the ribs and pulls the middle in. And that deep middle core work is what pulls your hips back to center. One more each side. Again, only rotate as far as you can, keeping the whole upper back planted on the mat so it feels like a sensation of stretch and opening across your shoulders and chest. And then final one each side. And come on back to center. Hug 2 knees into your chest. Take a deep full belly breath. And let it go. So once again, this is a new breathing. You can check out a video on YouTube with the breath that will help you. It's not natural, so be patient with yourself, you guys. Belly breathing is natural. That's not this. This breathing is gonna teach us how to turn on our deeper core muscles. 2 feet on the floor. Let's do some chest lifts. So feet hip width apart, best you can. 2 hands are gonna interlace behind your head. Inhale, prepare. And on an exhale, curl your head and shoulders off the mat. Inhale, reach around, hold the back of your legs with your hands. And exhale, use your hands to pull yourself up a little deeper. See, because we want to get the shoulder blades all the way off the floor. Similar to when we were in our pelvic peel, we wanted the shoulder blades all the way on the floor. We want the shoulder blades all the way off the floor, so we're bending the middle back and not straining the neck so much. Right, so the eyes ideally look forward at our thighs. Again, use your hands if you need to. And feel the breath support you here. We want to keep a neutral pelvis when we do our chest lifts, which actually means we're not tucking the pelvis. So a lot of traditional fitness will teach us to round the lower back to protect the spine. We're not doing that here. We're trying to stay in a neutral alignment to the pelvis, which basically means we're not gripping the butt and thighs quite so much, right? We're gonna relax the tush, relax the thighs, and allow there to be this little natural curve under the lower back. Stay up in your chest lift. Take your 2 hands behind your head and simply hold, you guys, hold the chest lift for 3 breaths in your nose, out your mouth. In your nose, focus on the breath in the back body. Open mouth, exhale, feel how the core holds you here, you guys, not a gripping neck, not a clenching tush and thighs. 1 more breath. It's simply the breath that works your core and keeps you off the shoulder blades. Big breath in, and exhale, lower, back down, all the way flat on the mat. Inhale, get ready. And exhale, curl your head and chest up. Use the breath to lift. Inhale, hold your legs with your hands. And exhale, pull yourself up a little deeper, stretching the middle back. Notice how much your butt and thighs unconsciously kind of tighten and grip, and if that's what's lifting you, can you release the tushy and the front thighs so you feel more of the breath in the core hold you. 2 hands behind your head, interlace your hands. And we take 5 breaths. Inhale, fill the back body, just holding that chest lift. And exhale, hold. So feeling how every other body part wants to do the work. Can you guys feel how the shoulders want to grip, the face wants to tense? Relax the shoulders. Do the best you can to interlace the hands and allow the head to rest in the hands. So it simply is, you guys, that exhale bending you at the bra line, right at the rib cage area, to bend the thoracic spine, right? So many of us have a tight thoracic spine. If we get that movement in the middle back, we're gonna protect the lower back. Final breath, I'm still with you. And then exhale, lower, down. Let's add on this time, you guys. Inhale, get ready. Use an exhale to curl your head and chest up. Inhale, hold your legs with your hands. And exhale, pull yourself up a little bit deeper. Notice if your butt and thighs are gripping. So we're mindfully training our body to work the muscles we choose and release the muscles we choose. Are your shoulders hunching? Can you relax your shoulders and widen your collarbone? Take your 2 hands behind your head, inhale here. And on an exhale, we're gonna come up a little bit deeper. Inhale, lower just to the mid-back. Use your exhale to crunch. Inhale, lower just to the middle back, not the floor, the starting position. Exhale, come up a little bit higher. Inhale, lower just to the starting position, right about here. Exhale, come up a little bit higher. You guys got it. 3 more, breathing in. Use the exhale. 2 more. 1 more. And hold the lift. You guys, we're gonna add chest lift with rotation. If you need to rest your head and chest for a moment, you will. If you can stay lifted, you will. Take a breath in. And on an exhale, turn your chest to one side. So you're gonna reach for the outside of that thigh. You're gonna stay lifted off the shoulder blade you're turning towards. Inhale to the middle. Exhale, other side. Inhale to move. And exhale to turn. So we're turning the middle back, keeping the pelvis stable. Inhale. And exhale. And if you feel like this is working out and you want to make it a little harder, you'll take your 2 hands behind your head and continue. Inhale, center. And exhale, rotate. Inhale, center, staying off the shoulder blades. Exhale, rotate. So we're not pulling the neck and we're not swinging side to side with the shoulder blades. We're trying to endeavor to keep the lift of the shoulder blades. And think of making a big X across your belly. So you're trying to take your nipple line, you guys, to your armpit, your nipple line to your knee or hip point, right? Hang in there, 3 more, inhale, center, not this, right? Move with the breath, 2 more. So once again, we're trying to mobilize the thoracic spine as we stabilize the pelvis. Final one each side. You got it. Back to center and lower down. Awesome. You guys hug 2 knees into your chest. Take a deep full belly breath and let it go. And then reach for whatever you're going to use for your hamstring stretch, whether it's a band, a strap, a belt, or a towel, doesn't matter. If you don't have anything, you could absolutely just use your hands. So let's go ahead and loop our right foot and extend the leg to the ceiling. Hold the band or strap or prop with 2 hands. Bend your elbows, let your elbows float above the floor. And then just slide that opposite leg out to straight on the mat. So here we are in a hamstring stretch. Continue to sense your ribcage breathing, even here with the head down. So you want to feel that sense of the breath in the mid-back, expanding into whatever surface you're lying on. And again, the exhale, closing the ribs and engaging your core. So holding the stretch for about 10 breaths. Pull your stretching leg towards you guys as much as you can, keeping neutral pelvis, right? I have a video about that too if you want to kind of brief back and look at that. But often we pull the leg so far in that the whole tailbone rolls up off the mat or the surface you're lying on. Keep your sacrum, your tailbone grounded on the floor. So there's a natural curve under the lower back. So often that means you're not going to pull the leg in quite so close to you, right? You just pull the leg in as far as you can without shifting the pelvis. So we keep neutral pelvis. Second concept, you're only pulling the leg in as far as you can without hiking that right hip higher than the left. So if I lift my leg too high or pull my leg too close to my face, my whole hip starts to creep up higher than my left. You want to feel, you guys, that your hips are level, straight across. So once, and if you're not sure, lift your head and look at your pelvis. Often, we've got pant lines that go straight across. Can you see that your pant line is straight across and the right side isn't higher than the left? So in stabilizing the pelvis and the core via the breath, the leg might not move as far and you're going to get more core stability and actually more stretch with less movement because of the stability. Final breath here. And then let's go into the second leg, you guys. So just step that second foot up into the band or strap or prop. And slide your right leg out on the mat. Bend your elbows, hover your elbows above the mat. Close your eyes and sense the breath. So figure out what you need to do on this side to find a hamstring stretch right at the back of your leg and maintain a neutral pelvis. So pulling the leg towards you as much as you can on this side without the tailbone rolling up, honoring that natural curve in the lower back, and pulling the leg towards you as much as you can on this side without that left hip hiking up towards your ear, so keeping the hips level side to side. So the range of motion may be minimal, but we keep the core stability, and we keep this core stability via the breath. There's this sense, especially when you're lying on your back, you guys, feel the inhale across the mid-back, into the floor, into whatever you're like, feel the mid-back expand. And if you don't pretend, eventually that works. And on your exhale, the ribs close and the navel pulls in. So the breath engages, we have 4 layers of abdominals. The deepest layer of abdominals, called your transversus abdominis, which goes from your rib cage to your pubic bone. So the exhale actually holds your spine, similar to the feeling of like a back brace or a corset holding your whole spine, all the way from rib cage to pubic bone. You guys, 2 more full breaths in the hamstring stretch on this side. Feeling the breath work your core even now, even without the chest lifts. Final breath. And release. Hug 2 knees into your chest. Allow yourself a deep, full, natural breath if you need it. And curl your head and chest up. Rock on your spine a few times. And rock yourself all the way up. And we're going to come down onto our belly. So we're going to come prone all the way onto our belly. You're going to cross 4 fingers over 4 fingers. Touch your thumbs together. And rest your forehead right there. So basically you have space for your nose. Yes? All the way down on your belly. And when we lie on our belly, our trunk, our front body says, hallelujah, Pilates is over. And it lets go. So So can you sense the exhales, the rib cage pulling up into the spine away from the floor, and the belly button pulling up into the spine away from the floor? So it feels a little bit like the action of a pelvic tilt. So we're gonna start to move the legs, ideally without moving the pelvis. So you're gonna take a deep full breath in. And as you exhale, hover one leg off the mat. Inhale to lower. You guys can rest your head. I'm just talking to you instead of the floor. Exhale to lift. Other leg. Inhale, lower. Exhale, first leg. Inhale, lower. And exhale, second leg. So the idea, you guys, is we're moving from the hip socket way down here, like the tushy area, not the pelvis. So what happens as we lift the leg behind us is most of us, the lower back arches and we lose neutral pelvis. So we've lost the ab work and now we're compressing the lumbar spine. Can you keep that feeling of pelvic tilt? Lower belly engaged, pubic bone pulling into the floor and or towards your feet as you hover the legs. And now, can you hover two legs? So two legs hovered off the floor in prone hip extension. Recommit to lifting the lower belly and pulling your pubic bone into the floor. So you're feeling, you guys, that the lift is coming again from your hip socket with a stable pelvis, not from a compression or arch in the lower back. One more breath. And then push your feet down into the mat. So this time the legs will stay down. We're gonna move the upper body. So you're gonna bring your hands up for swan. Pilates swan, so the forearms are on the mat. Hands are a little wider than we tend to put them. Most people tend to go too close and we're crunched in the shoulders. Can you take the hands in line with the elbow joint so the chest is wide? This time the feet, the lower body stays grounded, pelvis still pulling into a pelvic tilt or a neutral pelvis. And we're gonna move the upper back. So we're gonna extend the spine from head to about mid-back, stabilizing the lumbar spine, lower back. On an inhale, you're gonna lift your head and chest. And on an exhale, you roll back down. Again, inhale, lift your head and chest. And exhale, roll back down. So into swan, moving with your breath. Inhale, open the chest. Exhale, roll back down, engage the belly. Beautiful. So you guys, about 5 more. And just lift and open the chest as much as you can without feeling like you've compressed the lower back. So if you're feeling your feet kind of float off the floor, you don't feel the ability to ground your feet, it's because you're losing the lower belly, yes? Come up into whatever swan you feel like you can hold for a handful of breaths, and we're gonna be here for a little bit. So your chest is lifted. You're not pushing, you're actually pulling. So the more you pull, you're tractioning your spine and creating space, right? We're creating space in the spine the best we can. So the more we push, the more we tend to compress. Pull forward. Recommit to lifting your belly and lengthening the tailbone. So the pubic bone is long, the tailbone's long. And now take your arms out to the side like airplane wings. So we're still on our belly. Inhale, adding shoulder rotation. Exhale, turn your thumbs up to the ceiling. Inhale, palms face the floor. And from the shoulder joint, exhale, turn your thumbs up to the ceiling. You got it, you guys. Inhale, palms face the floor. Stabilizing the chest, lift the swan or the back bend to exhale. And 3 more. So feel that this is not lower back work. If we stabilize with the middle, we continue to pull the rib cage and pubic bone together, and we're opening the chest and bending the upper middle back without losing the ab work, it becomes core, right? We're protecting the lower spine, the lumbar spine. 1 more breath. Thumbs up and hold. Can you lift the lower belly and tuck your pelvis more so your pubic bone is pulling into the floor? Lift the chest more. And release, you guys. Press back into a child's pose. Rounding your spine. And if child's pose is uncomfortable, it's supposed to be restful, but it's not for a lot of us. So if it's not, lie on your back, hug your knees into your chest. If you feel like you need more space, feel free to widen the knees. If your head doesn't touch the floor, possibly stack your forearms or use a blanket. And just take a few restful breaths here. Let your breath be natural and feel a sense of releasing tension on your exhales. Right, so often we walk around holding unconscious gripping or tightening or tension, this kind of chronic American stress. Can you notice where that's held in your body right now, today? This is a practice. And can you release? Can you allow those kind of sighs of release to let go of any extra holding or gripping? Final breath. How much can you let go of right now? Then on your next exhale, roll yourself up. And we're gonna come onto all fours. So spread your fingers, take your hands directly underneath your shoulders. And if this doesn't work for your wrists, you guys, you can be on your fist, and or you can roll a towel or a mat or something and kind of lift the heel of your hand on that. So there's less of a break in the wrist. If you can, spread fingers, planted hands. And that same work we did with the arms on our belly, that idea of external rotation, I want you guys to feel that here. So we're not letting the shoulders hunch forward. We're keeping the chest pulled forward and the upper arm spinning away from the middle, which puts the work, you guys, into my triceps, my underarm, and my core, and keeps the work out of my shoulder and my wrist. And let's move the spine a little bit here. Inhale, lift your chest and tail. And exhale, round your back. So once again, coordinate your breath with your movement. Inhale, heart open, tail up. And exhale, round. Back and forth a handful of times. Move and breathe. Marry your breath and movement together. And feel that too often, you guys, we're hunching the shoulders on the round. You're kind of like, it feels like we're getting more round, but it's not the spine, it's more tension and compression in the neck. Even when you round, keep the shoulders pulling down your back. So the round happens from the exhale. The round happens from the core. Welcome to Pilates, it's all core. It's that idea of ribs and belly pulling in. So I'm rounding more from my bra line or my thoracic spine to my tailbone, keeping my shoulders sliding down my back. You guys, 2 more, beautiful. And then final one, I come to neutral. Keep pulling the shoulders down the back, and we're gonna rotate the chest this time, stabilizing the pelvis. Take a deep, full breath in. And then an exhale, rotate open towards me. So my belly button's facing the floor, my 2 hands spread away from each other. Inhale, put my hand down. Exhale, second side. Inhale, hand down. And exhale, rotate. Think of reaching to the ceiling, spreading your shoulder blades apart, your collarbones apart. Inhale, hand down. You move with breath. You guys have a few more. As you rotate, mindful of the standing arm. Keep sliding that shoulder down the back, and even imagine the arm in external rotation. Yes, moving with breath. So as I turn my standing arm, I'm feeling it roll down my back, so the work again is in my tricep and my waist and underbody, right? If I let that shoulder creep into the ear, I'm gonna feel the work in my neck and my wrist. 1 more each side, you're doing fabulous. Almost there. And then when you're ready, coming back to center, 2 hands, 2 knees. Let's finish with a basic hip stretch. So let's step the right foot forward between the hands. You can always use the hands to get it there. If you have blocks or books or pillows, if you need support, you can take your hands higher. We're gonna try to take the 2 hands on the inside of the front knee, and we're gonna try to scoot the back knee back. So the farther you scoot the back knee back, the more stretch you're gonna get. More is not always better. Do what you can with a deep, full breath. Try to keep your front knee right over your ankle, right? So you're not letting the knee go forward of the foot or ankle. It's too much pressure on the knee joint. Again, if your hands don't reach the floor, you guys just grab anything. A couch pillow, a folded blanket or towel, a few folded blankets or towels, and let your hips drop forward and down. Some of us are not feeling this, you can go deeper by taking the forearms onto something and or the forearms all the way onto the floor. So 10 full deep breaths in this hip flexor, quad hip flexor stretch. And you guys can let go with the ribcage breathing. Just allow yourself to breathe natural in and out the nose. And feel a sense of release. So I'm teaching you via breath and awareness and attention to turn on these core muscles, your postural muscles. And in order to turn on our core muscles, we also have to learn how to release these bigger, stronger muscles that work instead of our core. Like our hip flexors, the front thigh, our quads, the front thigh. When these guys do the work, the movement for us, we end up feeling the work in the lower back. You guys, 1 more full breath on this side. And then make your way out of there. And let's move to the second side. So however you need to, step the second leg forward. If you need to take your hands higher for support, you can put a couch pillows, anything, blocks if you have them. Scoot the back knee back as much as you can. Try to keep the hands on the inside of the front foot. So you want to have your two legs kind of parallel, like hip width apart, not on a tightrope. And it may be very different on this side, you guys, so find the position that works for you on this side, right? You may be less in a stretch, you may be more in the stretch. Do what you can without straining, meaning you can still take deep, full breaths. And we're not shoving, nor are we resisting. So the body kind of wants to resist the sensation, because it's not usually comfortable. And the mind wants to shove deeper into the shape because we're productive. Can you find this space of just kind of being here and breathing? 5 breaths. Second side, hip flexor quad stretch. So when we release the hip flexors and the quads, you guys, we're able to get deeper into the core. We're able, all these hip muscles, 27 hip muscles. Most of them connected directly to your lumbar spine, your lower back, right? So when we're overworking the hips and not working the core enough, we tend to feel tension in the lower back. Final few breaths here. And then when you're ready, you guys put your weight back into a child's pose, a final rest pose. Again, if child's pose is uncomfortable, lie on your back, hug your knees into your chest. And let your forehead touch the floor. If it doesn't touch the floor, prop it on your arms or find some other folded blanket or prop. Take a final few deep breaths in. Truly feeling that sense of releasing tension with your exhales. And just acknowledge your effort for showing up, taking the time out of your busy day for self-care. And thank yourself for your efforts. All the benefit of the practice comes from the effort you put in. And then you guys take a deep full breath in. And on your exhale, roll yourself up to seated. 1 vertebrae at a time. Take a deep full breath in. And let it go. Thanks, guys. Thanks for playing. Good for you. Namaste. Stay tuned. I'm going to be posting lots of new content on YouTube, and be well.